This is Matt's video on anatomy physiology P5. Section A. Name the three elements of the cardiovascular system.
The three elements of the cardiovascular system are the blood vessels, and the heart.
What is the purpose of the cardiovascular system?
The purpose of the cardiovascular system, cardiovascular system consists of the heart, blood and blood vessels, and the primary purpose of this system is to carry oxygen and nutrients to all the cells in the body. This system also picks up carbon dioxide and other waste products that the body produces so they can be disposed of. It also regulates the body temperature, which is otherwise known as thermoregulation.
Point to 5 parts of the heart using a diagram.
You can't really see it very well, but you've got, hold on a second, bear with me. You have the right atrium, which is on the right side obviously. You've got the left atrium, which is obviously on the left side. And then if you bear with me, just below that, you've got the right ventricle, and you've got the left ventricle, and on the top you've got the superior vena cava.
Describe them.
What, vena cava?
Not all of them, the ones you pointed out.
Oh right, hold on. The right atrium takes in oxygen, which then goes through the right ventricle. The superior vena cava takes in the oxygen. No, the oxygen goes through to the right atrium, then to the right ventricle. And obviously the same is happening on the left side, the left atrium, the left ventricle. Next one.
Explain resting heart rate and describe the structure of arteries.
Right, the resting heart rate is your heart rate before you've done any exercise, or basically just your heart rate at normal rate. And the
structure of arteries.
The structure of arteries, it's got it's mainly three main things. It contains lumen, which is small and round in the arteries. The size of the muscle wall is reasonably small and smooth, and the type of blood that's carried through is red blood cells, which carry oxygen, and white blood cells, which fight disease.
What is the main purpose of capillaries?
The main purpose of capillaries is its main function depends on its permeability, so it's the main site of exchange for nutrition and gases such as carbon dioxide and oxygen.
Why is the pulmonary vein so special?
What makes these blood cells very unusual is that the pulmonary arteries carries deoxygenated blood instead of oxygenated, and the pulmonary vein transports oxygenated blood, not oxygen.
Name the 4 components of the blood.
The 4 components of the blood are plasma, which is about 55% of whole blood is plasma. A fluid is the blood's liquid medium, which by itself is straw yellow in colour. Red blood cells, these contain hemoglobin and iron, containing protein which facilitates transportation of oxygen by reversibly binding to this respiratory gas and greatly increasing its solubility in the blood. White blood cells are part of the immune system. They destroy and remove old or aberrant cells, and cellular debris, as well as attack infectious agents and foreign substances. Platelets are also one, and they're responsible for blood clotting. So, for example, when you cut yourself, blood will clot on the cut and stop you from bleeding to death. Next question.
Describe what the red blood cells are made up of and their main purpose.
Right, red blood cells perform the most important blood duty. A single drop of blood contains millions of red blood cells which are constantly travelling through your body, delivering oxygen and removing waste. If they weren't, your body would slowly die. Red blood cells are red only because they can contain a protein chemical called hemoglobin, which is a bright red in colour, similar to my jacket here. Hemoglobin contains the element iron, making it an excellent vehicle for transportation and oxygen and carbon dioxide.
Describe the function of platelets.
Well, I've already said that, but I'll say it again. Platelets are responsible to stop you from bleeding to death. So basically, when you cut yourself, the wound, it stops the wound from pouring out blood instantly.
Describe what each of the following is and what they do.
Right, the first one.
Triceps valve.
Tricep valve. Valves are like flap-like structures that allow blood to flow in one direction. The transport valve is located between the right atrium and the right ventricle. I'm just saying we're just back on the heart now because... Yeah.
The atria.
The atria of the heart receives blood returning from the heart from other areas of the body.
The septum.
The septum, the interventricular... the interventricular septum separates the left ventricle from the right ventricle.
Pericardial fluid.
Pericardial fluid is collected via pericardiocentesis to open or surgical drainage.
Chordate tendon.
The choroid tendonae are strong fibrous strings attached to the leaflets or cusps of the heart on the ventricular side, i.e. the lower chamber. These strings originate from small mounds of muscle tissue, the pallidary muscle, which project inward from the walls of the ventricle. Thank you for listening.
A bit.